Hello everyone, my name is Yuri Kasdorp from Mouse, and we are here in Sao Paulo, in Brazil. We're one time not with the Ford because we need a turbo car. We're on a bit of elevation, which is a very good moment to bring out the Aston, the new car this season. It's a lot of fun to drive around here, a couple tricky spots, so let's get into the lap guide and see how we do. Alright, here we are about to start the lap, and we're on the Aston. Because we're on a bit of elevation on this track, so we needed a turbo. Got our tires hot. Turn 1, we brake just after the 50. Get the car rotated on the inside. Turn 2, just about flat. Turn 3, we brake just after the entrance road on the right hand side. Try to get a nice exit from here. And we get to turn 6, 7. Try to get the rotation before you go back on the power here. Brake on the outside. Quite a lot of curb. You can go back on the power here very, very early. Come from the outside. First gear here in the Aston, otherwise I have no power going out. Careful running too wide on the entry here. And then powering out to finish the lap up the hill. And then of course we want to run the shortest line on the inside here to finish the lap. And that's the lap around Brazil. So we look from the outside.
Just take the fastest lap of the session.
Alright, so we'll have a quick look from the outside cam here. Obviously for turn 1, you want to extend as much as you can. This on the right side here is not really dirty, so just braking close to the wall. Want to brake kind of in a straight line initially. And then the more we start turning towards the apex, the more we obviously have to go off the brakes as well. So it looks a bit like this. Braking in a straight line here. Steering wheel almost straight. Going straight, straight, straight. But then we slowly start getting towards the inside. And I have to slowly start reducing the braking as well until we get to the inside curb here. And we kind of want to turn the car completely on the inside curb here. So white line doesn't matter. Left side tires on the edge here of the gravel. And then we do that to open up turn 2 as much as we can. And turn 2 is always like on the edge of full throttle or not full throttle on how much you want to cut it. You can cut it a bit on the inside, but you have to be careful because the rear could step out, even though it's allowed to cut a bit more on the inside. The rear tends to step out a bit. So then flat out. Left side tires here can go to this line, I think, so you can go a bit on the grass to keep it flat and not get the off track. And we want to keep it flat because we have the long straight coming afterwards. So that's quite tricky. Let's have a bit more look at the details in the Delta app. Zoom in. As you can see, we're going onto the brake. Well, we have the steering quite straight still, going straight line. And then the more we start steering towards the end here, you can see it goes in 2, 6, 12%. The more we start turning towards the inside, the more we have to go off the brake. So you see kind of a triangle until we start a proper trail braking and we face off and we start turning in a lot more. And a tiny bit of brake, the last bit towards the apex to keep the rotation going. So that's the tricky part. And then the next corner, turn 2 here. You see it's always on the edge of flat. I'm going to 90% here for maybe 10-20 meters to get the car around there. So quite tricky. You kind of want to go as fast as you can on the first apex here without having to lift almost anything in turn 2. If you have to lift more than like 50%, then you're going too fast in turn 1. That's how you want to set it up, because we want to have this exit onto the second straight. So let's, and this is the straight I'm talking about, where you want to have the best possible exit. Then we get to the bottom here, and the breaking point here is this entry road just after the 100. And right at this entry road, I start turning. Keep the car on the right side, don't start turning it too early. So you want to set up for a nice exit. You can run this inside, but I like to run the bottom of the curb here. Then back on the power, and I think they extended the track limits a bit here, where you can actually have the left side tires on the curb now without immediately getting off track. It was very annoying before. Then we get to this fast double right-hander. You want to open it from the left side. Tiny bit of brake, just to get the rotation in. And then wait until the car grips on the front end before going on the power. If you go on the power just before it properly starts rotating from the front, you'll just understeer to Narnia. So wait until that grip is there, and you can go back on the power, keep the rotation. You can extend quite a lot here, middle of the car on this drain pipe, I think. So you can make a nice entry to this right-hander. You can cut a bit less here on the inside now. Before you could go all the way to the grass. Now you can still go on the curb, but you can't cut all the way over the grass anymore. And then for this downhill hairpin, you want your left side tires to run along this edge. So if we zoom in on the curb a bit, we zoom in on this curb, you can see it starts going up around this line here. And what I like to do is put my tires on this surface here before it starts going up. See if you can see it a bit better when we're down. So this part here, between the white line and the curb where it goes up, this is where I aim to put my left side tires. So now I missed the initial bit a bit, but like this, I'll aim to run the whole corner through here. That's the ideal line that you want to hit. And keeping it like this, you're not quite where it goes down on the inside curb, but you have another rotation because of the camber on the corner. So that's what I aim for around here. And then, as you can see as well, you can be on the power very, very early here. Go back to normal cam. Because there is this camber on the track, we can be flat out in the middle of a hairpin, which is normally impossible. And we get to the hairpin top of the hill, which is tricky. You want to brake from the outside here, get it towards the inside. And for me in second gear on the Aston, I had no acceleration at all, so I have to go to first. You have to be careful because there's a bit of turbo lag in this car, and especially in first and second you feel it. When you're on the power, it waits a fraction of a second before that power actually gets delivered to the rear wheel and the turbo starts spinning up. So let's go from the onboard here. You can probably tell. As you can see, from the corner here, I'm on the power here. There's not much happening yet. And then from here, it suddenly starts kicking in. So I'm trying to make sure that I've got the steering wheel straight when it happens. So if you're struggling for traction here, keep in mind that the throttle response or like the proper power with the turbos take a while to kick in. So something to keep in mind here. And then down a left-hander, you also want to keep the tires on the same edge as the hairpin here. Just keep it flat out around here. Then we were able to go to the right side here before. That's not allowed anymore. Now the middle of the car needs to be on the track, can't be on this. So we keep it like this. And then we want to set up for a nice exit going up the hill. That's the most important thing. So brake early, and you want to be on throttle before you get to the apex here. Because we have the big run up the hill towards start-finish to finish the lap. And hopefully this is a week where we can use different cars than the Ford. Will mostly be turbo cars, but I think any turbo car will be kind of viable here. Alright, so there we go. A lot of fun to get this car around here. Good excuse to get some different cars out this week. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see everyone next week. Probably with the Ford again.